Oh. How's the coronavirus stuff going for you?
So your audio cut out there.
What's up, guys?
Oh, hello.
Hey, what's up, Greg?
How's everyone this evening?
Yeah, pretty good.
Not
You got
bad.
your headset? You look like a pilot.
That was the look I was going for.
Yeah.
Crushed it. You enjoying the season so far?
I'm Pip Seymour tonight.
Pip Seymour. I like that. It's
Yeah.
kind of a porn-esque name.
She's one of the girls in the survivor pool.
Okay.
But she has a paid version of Zoom, so we could to host as many people as we wanted to host. And
then there's no time limit then?
No.
Because I'm going for a marathon. It's a 6-hour Survivor Talk.
Oh my God.
I'll just leave it running.
I warned Brandon.
Sykes, the man himself.
Hey! Survivors ready?
Survivors ready?
Come on in, guys.
Who the hell is Chaz?
Chaz Lamborghini. That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut Survivor reference right there.
Is it a former Survivor contestant?
No.
Paul, do you know this one?
Actually, no. I got nothing.
It is the name of Tyson Apostle's pet tortoise.
Oh, that's right. God. That's right. From News AF. He always talks about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
My headset's cutting out. I got to go find a charger for it. All right. So you just keep talking. I'll be back in a minute. It's beeping incessantly.
All right.
Hey, Tracy, can you hear us?
I can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm on the treadmill, so let me know if it's annoying. I'll turn it off.
No, not at all.
It's almost bedtime for us.
Oh, it's annoying.
Yeah, I should have logged in as Tyler Weigert and see if anyone gets that reference.
Do you know who does
Yeah.
Doesn't Coach also do podcasts from a treadmill? And
Coach
yes,
famously did a podcast from a treadmill.
Only for an hour and a half one. Yeah.
And Rob hated it.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
No. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Booted out now.
I'm totally joking.
So, Paul, you're the big first place right now, eh?
Yeah, that's what.
With the double down on Denise, who would have thought?
Did I double down on Denise?
I think you doubled down on Denise, and that's why you shot into first, because she got so many points last episode.
I know I chose Denise. I wasn't sure I doubled down on anyone though, but I'm pretty awesome at this stuff.
Hey, Leanne, how's it going?
Not bad. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. You enjoying the season?
So far, so good. I tried to power through and rewatch the last hour. I didn't quite get through it again, but I'm ready to talk.
We just finished watching it again over here so that I would have something to talk about.
Yeah.
It was amazing to watch two legends of the game go down in one episode.
Oh my gosh. Big episode.
Huge episode. Well, people arguably would call those two of the top probably 5 Survivor players of all time. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah. That would say top 5 for sure.
Okay.
I feel like they have the hype or whatever, but I wasn't really loving either one of them this season so far.
Not this season, no.
Yeah.
But to me, a lot of the reason for that, at least, like Parv didn't have anything. She had no wiggle room. She had nowhere to go. She had nobody to play with. I think all of those old school players coming into this season were at a huge disadvantage, because if you look at the number of quote unquote new school people and quote unquote old school people, even if you want to lump Tyson into old school, you've got like 12 or 13 to 7 or 8. And I think you look at who's on the edge right now. Every single one of them, except for Natalie, is an old school player. And there's only one left in the game. Who's the one old school player left in the game?
Joel.
Laquan. That's right. He's the only one. Are his days numbered? I don't know, but I think there was a massive delineation. So
I think the breakdown.
In a pretty good position, I think.
I think he is right now. I do. I can't see them letting him go very far, though. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is Yule going the distance?
I think someone's going to cut Yule off. They're going to realize he's kind of the linchpin. And once you cut Yule, I think you'll see Nick and sorry, what's the guy's name that is coming off
exactly
this season?
Oh, Wendell.
Wendell, yeah. I think Yule's kind of the glue to all those people, and so I think someone will recognize that.
You think, and then they're going to cut him loose, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh, I don't know. They're showing a lot of Yul for no reason sometimes. That's my thing. And they're showing a lot of Tyson too, which is, I'm hoping he makes his way back in. So, because he's hilarious.
If you guys can see my screen, I think I'm sharing the spreadsheet. And you're right, Paul. I don't know why I thought you had Denise twice, but you got Jeremy as well, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fairly happy. I mean, I can't believe I'm in first place because I've lost 2 players. But hey, I like how you're scoring it.
Well, Natalie is the 3rd highest or 4th highest point producer so far of all the survivors. Denise is got 64, and then
I think she just jumped into that though, right?
Yeah, she did as of last episode, and then Sarah and Sophie have 49 points.
Amazing.
And then it's Natalie with 47.
Amazing.
Actually, Parv has 48 also.
What?
Yeah,
really?
Because what did she do? She got a bunch of tokens given to her from Rob.
Right, so now you just get points for people handing you shit? What the hell?
Yeah, so the way Rob and I talked about it was that we were gonna give 5 points per token that you use or receive.
Yeah.
What happened to I can't figure my screen out here. Everything's messing up. Can you still see me?
No, we're seeing your backwards
Damn
camera.
it. Okay, how did I fix that last time?
You went into the upper right.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh my god, it's so embarrassing.
You don't really have a dynamic screen presence right now.
No, I can imagine. No, but everything's kind of going goofy in here. I can't figure out what's going on.
It looks like we have Steven joined us too. Can you hear us?
Fantastic.
Oh, there he is.
Hey-o, how's it going?
Welcome.
Hey.
Yeah, Steve Scott. Hey. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, not too much, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You guys can't see me now, right?
No.
Okay, I got to figure it out.
There you go. You're back.
I'm back? Okay, good. And Greg, how do I get it so I can see all the people?
Yeah, I can't see all the people either.
I think at the top right of your screen, you can change the view to 2 different views. I don't remember.
I'm checking it out right now. We've got there's so many people in here. This is really terrific.
Hey.
Oh, there we go. I got I can see everybody now. Yeah, good.
Yeah, there's either gallery view or speaker view.
Speaker view, and this is speaker view.
The one where there's a big one is gallery view.
Right.
Oh no, it's speaker view.
Okay.
I like gallery view because I see everybody the same size.
Oh, I'm all for gallery view.
Yeah.
This is a fun introduction to Zoom and how Zoom works.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far. It's pretty I thought it would be much more technically difficult.
No, it's smooth, right?
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, we haven't had any awesome predictions so far this year because
no, that's true.
We haven't had a lot from you. What's your assessment so far?
Oh boy. Well, what do you want? You want a deep prediction? You want me to tell you who's going? You want me to tell you who's winning the game?
Recap of how you think the season has progressed so far and where we're at.
Okay. Well, again, we've seen this delineation, I think, between the old school and the new school players, and I think the old school players were immediately targeted, and almost nobody else wanted to work with them. Natalie gets cut right away, which is only by virtue of the fact that she is buddies with Jeremy, and those two work together so well. And everybody knew that coming in, that those two are a tight two. You got to split up any pairs. If Rob and Amber had been on the same team immediately, they're gone. But look, Nat goes, and then Amber. And then who's after Amber? Danny. Danny played herself out of the game. Terrible. But I don't think she had a chance anyway. Those guys, that whole team, Rob, Danny, Parv, and Ethan, like, they're outnumbered immediately. Those are the old school, 4 of them versus 6. So I think that's been the story so far, is all the old school players who I wanted to see got voted out early on. And even, like, I'd throw Tyson into the mix there. You could tell Tyson was targeted right from the get-go as well. That's why I swapped him out. I swapped out Tyson for Sophie early on.
So I don't think. Sorry, I was
just
going to jump in here for a second.
Yeah.
I don't think the delineation is from old school and new school. I think it is more of high profile versus lesser profile players.
Okay, so who are some of these high-profile players who you would not call old school players.
Well, Natalie's not old school, and she was first boot.
Because of, I mean, nobody else has as close of a bond, I think, anywhere on those tribes than Natalie Jeremy.
And Danny, what was Danny's season?
Guatemala.
What's that?
It's Guatemala.
Okay.
She's the only player to ever have returned from Survivor Guatemala. Yeah, and there's a reason for that, because Survivor Guatemala, debatably bad.
And Tyson,
And she was kind of tragic.
Tyson, I guess, is considered old school also.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, token teens, yeah.
What's the cutoff
20.
for old school Survivor?
20.
Is it season 20 and on?
Season
We're in
20
season
and on.
40?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the spreadsheet, it definitely, all of the names that seem to be gone are pretty well people who played quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And looking at the names that are left, they're more new players.
Exactly. And new players. What's that, Steve?
I was going to say, I'd call the season with Tony, actually, because that's when he started going a little on the...
Right.
I can't recall what season that is. I'm sure that you'll be able to...
That would be Cagayan, season 26.
How do you know this stuff?
I totally forgot about the Spy Shack, too, and when he did it again, I was like, oh my god, this is awesome.
It was pretty amazing to see the Spy Shack come up again. It was totally functionless, though. Like, everybody was like, oh, I'm sure Tony's in a Spy Shack right now, so let's not talk by the water well. I mean, they outed him immediately, and it was fun to watch because it's a fun Tony moment. He had so much like levity to the game.
I want to hate that guy, but I love him.
There's no way you can hate Tony. No, come on. He's TV gold. From every minute he was on the screen in Cagayan, even in Game Changers, he was, he flamed out so fast. He's not as interesting this time around because he's not going balls to the wall. He knows that he's got to kind of keep it reeled in. But those moments where he does kind of lose it, ooh, that's entertaining. That stupid Tony ladder, come on, that's great. That's great TV.
So when's a typical merge? We've got 12 people left. When?
It's got to be coming soon, right?
I think it's this episode.
Yeah?
Okay. I would hesitate to say that, and the only reason
because someone's coming back.
Someone's got to come back from Edge.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I think though you get a vote out, you get someone come back in, and then next episode after that, maybe you'll have the merge. Because usually in the next time on Survivor, stay tuned for scenes from our next episode. You'll have, drop your buffs. It's the merge, everyone. Yeah. They didn't say that this time around, so I have a feeling we'll see someone come back.
I hope it's this episode because it's really hard to narratively keep track of 3 tribes and Exile Island.
Mm-hmm.
I used to like 3 tribes. I don't know. Do you guys like 3 tribes or 2 tribes?
I mean, I don't mind the switch up to the 3 tribes for a couple episodes. It is a little like the episode where they switched into the 3 tribes. I gotta keep pausing and be like, okay, what are the new tribe names and who's on them, and then color code it so that I can.
Yeah, you got to do it for the spreadsheet, right?
So it's a little bit more difficult, but
because
I do like the dynamic of all of a sudden everybody's on different teams again, and did you get lucky or are you screwed?
Well, what do you guys think? 3 tribes, 2 tribes? I gotta check my refried beans. I'll be right back. I'm listening.
2 tribes is just a better. It's just a better format in terms of understanding the strategy that's going on. I literally have there's no conversations I hear between the dynamics between these smaller tribes. So you kind of, I don't know, lose a little bit of narrative focus with 3.
Especially with Edge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just too many stories going on.
Exactly.
And what do you guys think of Edge of Extinction this year? Now bringing it back, I think it's much better than it was the first time around.
I really like the incorporation of the fire tokens and stuff too, and how they can trade advantages and stuff. I think it's a really neat dynamic, and it's just they have to actually work over there. They don't just have to survive. I think it's I'm really liking it this year.
You know what? I have a mixed minds with that because 1, it's totally entertaining, but 2, God, Natalie's killing me. I have stupid Ben, who I thought I'm gonna aim middle of the road this time. I need some points from this guy. Come on.
Yeah, Ben's really done nothing.
I still really hate the Edge of Extinction, and I'm kind of a purist. I like once your torch gets snuffed, you're gone. You're not like they can see who gets voted out from the beach, right? They can see, oh look, it's Boston Rob. You can tell by his hat, he's over there. You're missing the finality of getting that torch snub, and I think that's at the heart. That's a crucial element of Survivor.
Yeah, see, I kind of like the last chance kitchen element. It's like on Top Chef where as soon as they pull that inside there, last chance kitchen on the island, man. So I don't know. I'm all right with that. You get one person that sometimes you just catch an unlucky bounce, but then they duke their way back. So
I kind of feel like there's no way that most of these people, or at least a lot of them, come back for this season unless they know they've got a last ditch. Nobody wants to be the person like Amber's coming out there for 40 days, ditching her family to get voted out first and then sit on Ponderosa for 39 days, right? They needed some kind of guarantee. This is what I've heard anyway. This is rumor that people needed a guarantee that they were going to be able to get back into the game, that they would have Edge of Extinction. And I think they got paid a lot more to come and play on. I heard everybody got 25 grand just to play, which is usually the booby prize. The first vote out is $2,500.
Right. Really?
For the first boot, yeah.
And then it goes up from there, depending on when you get booted?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And somebody's broken it down on the internet before for exactly how much it is. Second place is 100,000, third place was 90,000, and it kind of goes down from there. But it's changed a lot in the last few years. Like, how do you rank who was first out on the Edge of Extinction season? What's that guy, Chris Underwood? That's the only episode I've never seen, by the way. The finale of that Edge of Extinction where Chris Underwood won. I just couldn't bring myself to watch it.
I would think they're going to need to do whatever they're going to do on Edge of Extinction for whoever's going to come back fairly soon, because they're going to have to bring that person back, and then from that point on, whoever gets booted starts becoming jury members.
I think they're going to have two Edge. They're going to have one person come, like we saw in the original Edge. You'll have someone come in next week or something, and then you'll have someone come in at like final 5, final 6, like Chris Underwood did. Yeah. And you're just going to keep everyone there the entire game, and every single person is going to be on the jury. That's my guess.
Wow,
it's a big jury.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit much.
It's a bit much.
But I mean, to declare the winner of winners, a bigger jury might be a good idea.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, if you're talking from a purist perspective, that's the least pure form of the game, I guess.
Yeah.
I do think if you're going to have a season like this, it makes sense to keep people around. Because you don't want to lose those hilarious moments from Tyson. You don't want to lose Natalie, kicking ass on, Extinction Island or whatever.
Really? You don't?
I like it.
Yeah, I have actually enjoyed watching Natalie kick butt on Extinction.
She's been great. If you're going to do it, this is the way to do it with the fire tokens. I think Leanne makes a great point. I think that really spices up the game. I love the dynamic that it creates. You have this currency that nobody really knows how to use exactly, but they think, look, that fire token is the reason Sandra's out of the game, because she's like, I'm going to parlay this meaningless, this advantage, which is going to expire tonight, into something that will have value later on in the game. So it's a risky move, but she did not perceive any level of risk with that whatsoever. She thought she was really safe. And so that's why she's out of the game, because of the fire tokens. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. I don't think you can have 40 seasons in a row of like, we're going to get 16 people and then you're never going to swap, and then they're going to go home one by one. It's going to be like, you got to introduce some.
Now, do you think because
I think the first Edge was a swing and a miss, but this is great. Anyway, sorry, go ahead, guys.
Because fire tokens are here this season, do you think we're going to continue to see fire tokens?
100%.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I think Jeff's even said as much.
It adds another an interesting element where you have something to leverage.
Yeah.
And so you get a lot of different permutations of what can happen with that leverage, right? So it just adds a dynamic element to the game. That's
other than the last episode we watched, really fire tokens have meant nothing other than the people using them to buy whatever people from Extinction are sending. Right? It was only last episode where people started to barter and be like, give me 2 fire tokens and I'll write someone else's name down, which was Tyson's thing. And and Denise and Sandra saying, I'll give you the immunity idol for a fire token or two.
Yeah, but how did Sandra get that immunity idol? Sandra got that immunity idol from one of the players on Edge, and she bought it with her fire token, right?
Right, but she didn't. I mean, if they didn't have fire tokens, and it was just like you have to will this to fire this thing you found on Extinction to someone in the game, you know, because that's how they've done it in the past. Some seasons they just people on Extinction or somewhere else found or got something and were allowed to just send it to whoever they choose in the game, so they got it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the seasons where they had that. That's mostly just Edge of Extinction, right? There's not been a ton of willing stuff to other people, but you're right. There is. I'm trying to think back to Game Changers, and people would get voted out, and they had to leave like the legacy advantage. I think Sarah Lucina was the benefactor of a legacy advantage at some point, which helped her win that particular season when she voted out Sandra for the first time. Oh no, she didn't vote. She didn't vote out Sandra this time. Sorry.
Why don't you tell us about what you think of Tyson's peanut butter purchase?
Oh, come on. Come on, dudes. That's amazing. The second he gets the token, he just blows. He's like, well, you need 3 to get back into the game. And if I were to, spend 3 fire tokens and not get back into the game, I'd look the fool. But I'm not a fool. At least I don't think I am. And then he blows it on peanut butter.
I think he's purely playing for the cameras, and I love it. He's just purely the Tyson Apostle brand he's playing for right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There's no way he thinks he's winning the game a second time.
Yeah.
I don't think anyway.
I don't think so.
You saw it on the first episode. Basically, for the last 12 years, I've been a professional Survivor player. Other people go to work every day, but I just can't do it.
I can relate.
It's the best, right? He's my top 3 favorite players of all time. I mean,
Absolutely.
I listen to a podcast with the guy every single week. I just think he's a funny guy. Some people like that kind of humor, some people don't. But I don't know. I thought it was great. What do you guys think?
I mean, what an idiot.
Why?
I mean,
what's he going to spend it on? He makes a good point. If he doesn't use the idol ever, he's wasted it.
From my perspective, he's still in the game. He's on Extinction, but he's still playing and could get back and make a push to win.
Do you get the sense he cares?
Well,
no.
He's living the Aloha lifestyle, man. He loves it.
You don't think he wants $2 million?
I mean, look, if he can win it, he'll win it, but he's not. He's literally lived off. He hasn't worked a day in 12 years.
I feel like he just got excited for getting a fire token, had seen what they can get with their fire tokens, and was just like gung-ho, didn't think about it, and was like, I'm getting peanut butter. Like, without thinking about anything.
You know what, though? We don't know how much food they're getting. And if they're really on, like, very thin rations, it's actually not even a dumb move if that's going to help you, throughout the rest of the challenges.
A lot of calories in peanut butter.
Yeah.
I think I saw something also, but I didn't watch it. But it was a video, I think, maybe an extended scene where he explains what he did with the peanut butter or something, or how he got rid of the peanut butter breath or something like that.
His Instagram story he did. He said they offered him chunky or smooth, and he hid it in the beach and would sneak out and have 4 or 5 scoops. So that was his Instagram story.
Yeah, and then he would wash his mouth out with seawater.
Yes. Yeah.
And then like chew on some leaves and stuff, so it would smell more earthy.
Well, you see, I kind of thought he ate the whole thing in one thing, and I thought, man, that's half a kilogram of peanut butter the guy's mowing back. I thought, how does he not get busted?
Ooh, that's either one chunky or very smooth bowel movement.
It's got to be tough to eat peanut butter with really nothing to wash it down, too.
Yeah, just out of a shell.
I think of all the things you could get out there, I think peanut butter would be fantastic. I've had days where I've lived off just peanut butter here at the apartment. And I don't put it on anything. I just scoop it up. For sure, there's so many calories in there.
Spoon in the jar, that's it.
I thought that was a great scene. And yeah, I think Paul is right to a large extent that he's just doing a Tyson thing. He's like, I can do something that's both hilarious and sneaky, and I like both of those. And it's a fun TV moment. Everyone's fighting as much as they don't want to admit it, or some of them do, fighting for airtime. There's 42 minutes of airtime. Everyone wants to get on the team.
Why don't we quickly break down each person that's left and see what everybody thinks? I'll just go through because I have the spreadsheet open.
Sure.
First on the spreadsheet here.
I gotta commend Greg's moderating skills here.
Yeah, very good.
We're just
keeping the combo going.
Greg's like keeping it right up to the. Okay, good. Yeah, go for it, Greg. Smart.
What do we think of Jeremy? Has he got a chance? You think he's positioned well right now?
Okay, Leanne, that was a prominent. Go on.
I don't know. I feel like he's kind of been in the bottom for a little while, and he doesn't necessarily have a lot of allies besides Denise, and I don't know how far they're going to go together. I mean, he's a good guy. Don't get me wrong, good player, but he's not really doing it for me yet. So I don't know.
A third of the pool picked Jeremy.
He's a very charismatic winner. No, I picked him as well. Paul, did you pick him?
I am not sure. I picked mine in about 2 minutes. I have. Oh, good. I have Jeremy.
Yeah.
I think he's a real smooth operator. Every time I see him, I'm impressed by. Even if he's not making huge moves, he's not putting his neck out on. He doesn't put his neck out unnecessarily, and I think he'll be able to go deep with that strategy.
Yeah. Okay. Steve.
Okay, Ryan. We've had this discussion before. I can't
Probably.
pick a winning team. I tried picking a losing team one time. Picking a losing team is as hard as picking a winning team.
Yep.
So I said this time right down the middle, not picking any high target ones, but it hasn't. They're in there. All 5 of my people are in there. But man,
What? You still have all 5?
Yeah, I think I counted last time. There's like 5 or 6 people who still have all of their survivors, but
That's awesome.
like Steven has Jeremy. And Ben, but Ben is doing nothing.
Ben's not collecting points, man.
You have Denise, and she's doing well.
Denise had a great game last time.
Wendell's not
know.
really doing much. So there's a couple people with 5 people left, but their 5 people aren't really doing much.
I know.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We still have individual immunities coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right?
I was ecstatic last time when Denise had like the big breakout thing. So I thought, oh sweet, you know what? About time, because my team they're all tapioca. They're a total mushy middle also.
So okay, so let's bring it back around here. Jeremy, I like his game so far. I do think he's got allies. I think he's got an ally in Denise. I think he's got an ally in Tony. And I think he has a few more allies from his original tribe. And Tony and him are tight. I think they want to play together. If Nat gets back in, they're super tight. Then there's a threat that she might. And I think after we do we'll go through the players, let's talk about who we think is coming back from Edge. But I'm still thumbs up on Jeremy. I like his game so far.
Yeah,
Who's coming after Jeremy? That's what I want to know. Who's coming after him?
Yeah, who's targeting Jeremy right now? Like Tony is a bigger threat than Jeremy right now.
That's the thing though. From episode to episode, all of a sudden, someone can be like, "Hey, we got to get rid of this guy because nobody's thinking about."
Yeah,
it can flip on a dime.
Yeah, but look, all the old school players are gone now. So now you get into the who's the biggest threat left? Tony, number 1. After that, the herd thins out a little bit. Yule,
the only old school guy left.
Yeah, I think after that it's Yule, and then I have no idea where it goes after that.
But that's a very narrow threat assessment, though. Like I think because he's the biggest threat, he's actually the least threatening Tony right now.
Agreed.
People are going to keep him around as a meat shield. Tony's, he's not a challenge dominator. You'll have chances to get rid of Tony, right?
That's true. He's pretty wily. Okay, so we're sort of mixed on Jeremy, although it seems like more upside than downside. Is that right?
So next up is Ben.
Ben.
I've been disappointed so far with Ben because I picked him. And who knows what might happen with him, but he's just not done anything so far this season for me. And he's not getting a ton of points. He's not winning much. So I'm so far disappointed in that Ben pick. I'm hoping that something happens here down the road, but
Ben gets a lot of confessionals. He's been a good narrator for the game, talking about because he's been on a tribe with Rob. So he's talked about that quite a bit. And he's talked about how he's aligning with Sophie and he wants to play with Sarah. And I mean, I like him as a character maybe not more than I liked him last time. The thing with Ben last time was everyone wanted to get Ben out, and he kept winning those idols. So he could go on a real tear. Up to this point, he hasn't really done a lot in terms of gameplay, but in terms of, keeping the story going, I've liked what he's had to say. I don't think he's winning the game, so.
Mm-hmm.
No more hot takes on Ben?
I've never liked Ben. I didn't like him on his season. I don't like him now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not even, it's just I don't like the way he looks.
Yeah.
That's it. Very, very capricious, but yeah, exactly. The Ben bomb thing was a bit much.
Yeah, he's going
All
to go
right, moving on. How about Michelle?
Ooh.
What do you think of Michelle?
You guys go ahead. I don't want to dominate the conversation.
How can anyone have a strong opinion on Michelle one way or the other?
Wendell clearly doesn't. He's pretty like, meh. I got a lot of other babes on the side. Apparently Wendell, according to internet rumor, has hooked up with many a Survivor babe.
Right.
Many. Yeah, so he's always got
really getting a douche at it.
He's big time getting a douche at it. Oh my God. Yeah. He kind of does seem a bit douchey. He did gain at least 15 or 20 pounds, eh?
Yeah.
Like his face looks so doughy.
Yeah, I was going to say it's all in his face.
Yeah, it's probably smart to like pack on some pounds before you go out onto the Survivor. I don't think that was Boston Rob's plan at all. Otherwise, he started prepping 3 years ago. He just hasn't looked his best, Boston Rob. It's fun because you see Boston Rob in Marquesas and even All Stars, and he's just running over things, and he's such a challenge horse. And then in this one, I don't know. He just looks tired. He looks so tired.
He was phoning this one in.
Big time.
I think there was one challenge where didn't he just rock one of those puzzles?
He choked on
two. He choked on one. He choked on one big time, and then the next episode, I think he killed her.
Hey, hi, Caitlin.
Hi.
Look at you made it.
Just you taking away my tape.
What?
Be careful with the camera.
Yeah, Jamie has tape over hers too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's some real deep state conspiracy theory stuff you guys got going on. What's that?
Those cameras can be hacked.
What are you doing in front of the?
Hey, I take a bath sometime with TV on with this.
Oh, really?
If you're watching Netflix or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sure Bill Gates is collecting all your bath.
We're breaking down some of the people who are left. You got any comments on Michelle? We're up to Michelle.
Yeah, we're talking Michelle right now.
I've heard everything.
Okay. Yeah, but then we're asking for
opinions.
We were trying to fill you. Hey, we're going to fill you in on the last half an hour. Okay, so.
Yeah. I don't think many people care about Michelle because she only got 4 picks. So.
Yeah, I think Michelle can go deep just because if she survives the smaller tribes, she's not an obvious target.
No one's coming after Michelle.
No. Yeah, but I said that about someone like Hope too, and sometimes in the merge you just go after the person who doesn't have a lot of social ties, right, to make an easy vote. So I could see that happening to Michelle.
You think Wendell will just keep her around, knowing that she'll probably just be a vote for him or someone that he knows she'll work with him? Or
no, I think he's leery of Michelle.
I gotta get rid of her because she's gonna stab me in the back soon.
I think that's more likely, for sure.
Is she a bad player though? You guys aren't giving her. No one here is giving Michelle any credit whatsoever. Is she a bad player?
I just don't remember her season much.
She beat Aubrey.
Yeah.
Everyone loved Aubrey, and she didn't win. But that was a very bitter jury.
That was a bitter jury.
A very bitter jury, and Aubrey probably should have won that game. And then even Jeff Probst cannot. Not that he can't stand Michelle, but he thought that Michelle was a very undeserving winner. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll give her so far, but I picked her and she's still in the game. I don't think she's going to win any challenges at all. Yeah. I don't see her being a major factor, but I could see her going to Final 6, Final 7, something like that.
It just all depends on how the merge breaks down in terms of the numbers and who sides with who, right?
Okay. Yeah. I don't think she's a master strategist or anything like that.
No.
I'm still happy with my pick. Okay, who's up next?
Up is Adam.
Love Adam.
Ah.
He's been so terrible in terms of gameplay, but like just all erratic, all over the place. But man, is it fun to watch.
I love watching his interviews because he, for a long time, was like thinking he was totally in control and making all these moves, but no one was like, people were listening to him a little bit, but not really going along with him, or just being like, okay, Adam.
Yeah. But Adam should know from if you remember Adam's original season, anyone who played the game too hard or stuck their neck out to make a big move got immediately axed the next episode. So why he's doing all this stuff makes no sense to me.
Yeah, he does mix it up a bit out there for sure. I find his confessionals so irritating. I can't stand listening to him talk. He annoys me. He's like a Big Brother player to me, where he's talking to the camera and he's hamming it up so much. You know? Well, the one thing you don't want to do on Survivor is the exact thing that I did. Just shut up. Just shut your mouth. Just stop it. We know you're on TV. Is he going to pull the dead mom card this time? I don't think he can this time, right? He pulled that. You don't think he pulled that?
I know he
kept
did.
that in his pocket.
Just...
Kept it in his pocket until the final tribal council. Right? It's terrible. And I don't mean any disrespect to Adam or his mother, who was still alive at the time, to be fair. But it's like Jeremy pulled at the final tribal council. He's like, oh, by the way, Val's pregnant. I'm like, oh, man, come on. You guys, you're going to back pocket these like major life moment things?
Yeah, I don't. Does anyone buy these?
It cheapened his win. It cheapened his win to me. But he is a good player. I'm not taking that away from him. But
I just like, he's making things happen. He's trying things. It's good to watch, right? Like it's good television when you have someone stirring the pot. It just is. And regardless of his, I get it. The confessionals are a bit Kelly Wentworth. It's a Big Brother player. Yeah.
He was like such a weasel this season, and I don't remember him being like that in his previous season.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys? You got my take on Adam. Not a fan.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking earlier on, he totally stepped on a rake in one of the earlier episodes when he got burned, and I thought he was going to get punted, but so far since then, he's just been, I thought some of the stuff where he was trying to like line up, like to sort out a lot of the double crosses and all that was great, but it's like, whoa, dude, you kind of, you used all your powder way too early. So
yeah, well, after that episode, he was like treading water. He's been treading water ever since, like just trying to lay low and go with the numbers, and anything but me.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm predicting though, if Adam survives this next vote coming up on his tribe, I'm guessing Adam's final 5.
Really?
Yeah,
he is getting a lot of airtime.
He's getting a lot of airtime. That's what I'm saying. He's getting a lot of airtime.
But he is a good narrator. Like he has whatever. I mean, that's what producers are looking for. That kind of smarmy. He'll lay out a narrative for the story. Like winning this immunity challenge was great. It was like winning 2 immunity challenges because we don't have to go to the next 2 tribal councils. There's nothing better than that. Like, oh, shut up, man. His ass would have been toast if that tribe had gone to tribal.
Oh, absolutely.
Hands down, nobody's.
Yeah.
So he's dodged a number of bullets,
and that's why I think
he's been close with Ben, and I think Ben's been able to keep his name out and throw and help people go after other people other than Adam.
But Ben doesn't really trust him though.
No, he doesn't. That's the thing.
Not anymore. But he trusted him more than Boston Rob.
Tell me one ally Adam has.
He had Denise for a while.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. I wonder if that's still intact.
Yeah.
I think Denise is too savvy to get in bed with a guy like that.
No, that's just the thing, though. No matter how it breaks down, though, if you need a number and Adam could potentially be your number, you're going to have to court Adam, right? Knowing that he's kind of a free agent. So that's why I think that, and maybe he's burned enough bridges that people are starting to think, who I want to take to the end? Adam.
Oh, GOAT. Goat material. Yeah, that's a possibility. Interesting. Okay, so I think that we have a real mixed view on Adam here. We've got some pros. We've got some definite people. Are you guys hearing that echo? Caitlin, I think that's you. I think your headphones picking. I'm going to close the kitchen door. Anyway, so no one needs to hear about our audio issues. Who's next after?
We don't hear an echo, at least.
Who's next after?
Next up is Denise, the queen of the last episode. I would just want to say I picked Denise first out, so I'm way up on this one.
Well, usually I wait to make my picks until you've made yours, and then I make sure I pick none of those players.
Hey, we've had some teams that were very close before.
Definitely, yeah. That's great.
So Denise has shocked me this season, and I don't know
why.
I'm not a huge fan of hers, but
don't worry, no one in the world is a huge fan of Denise, but she's really smart.
She's so smart. Come on, man. Denise has been to more tribal councils. She is the only person to have gone to every single tribal council in her episode, and she obviously never got voted out because she went every single tribal. It's nothing to her to go to some other tribal council at this thing. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Sandra's she's not a threat. She's not a threat. Sure, whatever, Sandra. Like, you're a threat.
She's a big threat to win the game.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of all the people we've talked about so far, she's the only person to me who I think has potential.
Paul, you picked her on your team. What was it? What did you see in her or hear in the podcasts that made you think, she would be likely one to go far?
Well, my reasoning is as follows. Ryan texted me and said, you have 5 minutes to make your Survivor picks. And so there's a lot of intellectual rigor applied to this. And I basically just picked anyone I didn't think would be an obvious target. That's it.
That's a good strategy. Targets will go home. So
right, and so far all the targets went home, right? And then Denise is still there, so that was basically the idea behind that.
I think what screws me up when I pick my teams is I try to pick people who I think will make it far because they won't make huge moves until like the merge time, but then I try to make sure those people that I pick also, I think when it comes to that time, can actually, make a push and do something. So I feel like I need to reassess my picking and just go with people I think like you who are middle of the road and are not threats and hope they last and do something after the
match. Also, the way it's scored now, you have a good chance of just picking 5 random people, though. It's so I wouldn't worry too much about it.
I disagree.
The
scoring is almost impossible. The scoring is because of the edge.
Because of the edge. I mean, normally, but because the edge throws everything out, right? Like, Natalie shouldn't have 1 million points, okay? I'm just...
Yeah. In hindsight, I wish I'd swapped out someone for her, even though she was voted out.
Really?
I totally thought the same thing, and I'm kicking myself.
I think.
Go ahead.
She did awesome. I think anyone who was probably going to be the first out would have had a similar thing because there's
absolutely
people on Extinction. They're the only ones getting the opportunities to get these. Points.
So maybe, I have a larger question than just our pool, though. I feel like she has a bigger advantage than anyone else does on that the Redemption Island because she has such an opportunity to get all of these tokens.
Yeah,
she's got a good head start for sure.
3, maybe 4 tokens now.
I think 3. I think.
Did you hear?
I'm back. I'm back.
So where were we?
We're all good. I think everyone's there.
Oh, cool. Was it just Caitlin and I that left?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it says our internet connection's wonky. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyone else have anything?
Yeah, I had a question. Oh, not on her, but I had a question more about Redemption Island, and I think Natalie's actually got it's a bit weird that she gets so many more points than everybody else, even though she was voted out first. She's kind of presumably got more advantages and a better chance to get back in the game, and I think that's a bit weird too on the producer's side.
When you talk about Redemption Island, are you talking about The Edge of Extinction? Because Redemption Island was season 22 starring Boston Rob.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because
I was
Boston Rob.
doing the same
Okay.
thing before the season. That's what I was calling it as well. I don't know.
That is why you fail.
It really depends, I think, on what the fire tokens are going to do for the Edge of Extinction Island people when it comes time.
But
like, are they basically going to use the more tokens you have, the more like, are you going to be able to get certain things to better your chance of winning whatever the comp is, or what are they going to use these for?
Well, just to get food.
If it's anything like last year, though, there's just going to be one big challenge where the winner will get back into the game, and you may be able to buy advantages leading up to that challenge, and have like an idol in your pocket if you do win that challenge. But you're still going to have to win that last challenge. So Natalie could have 9 tokens in her pocket, but if she doesn't get back in the game, winning that last challenge, she doesn't get back in the game, right?
Which is why Tyson bought peanut butter.
Out of all the players that are on an Edge of Extinction right now, Natalie's the only one that has the physical capacity to win challenges.
Tyson.
I think Tyson does. Tyson, you're sleeping on Tyson because he's got like a 40-year-old dad.
What about Rob?
And Boston Rob is no slouch.
He's strong. He's really strong.
He's a very strong guy. He's not as agile as he used to be, that's for sure.
No.
But I think if you look at the challenges that they've had to do on Edge of Extinction with, like up and down the mountain like 20 times carrying a log, Natalie crushed that.
Yeah.
She absolutely crushed it. And with her, like, just the way she trains and stuff like that, like Tyson's wiry, and I just don't think he has the overall physical capacity. At the end of the game, he's been pretty much sitting on his laurels the whole time that he's been on.
Well, if it's an endurance challenge,
I would take Tyson.
Good, but if it's not an endurance challenge, if it's a combination of endurance and puzzle, or do you recall
Tyson was a semi-professional cyclist? Tyson was in amazing shape and dominated his season in challenges. He is a challenge beast.
To be fair, though, he's got like a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, and he does just sit around the house. He doesn't exercise like he used to.
No, he does not. Yeah.
To get back in the last time they did this, was it one single challenge where you win that challenge and you're in, or was it a series of challenges?
No.
That was one challenge.
One challenge.
And they had 2, opportunities to get back in, right? Middle of the game and then towards the end. I do think Natalie has the best chance. Right now, I think she's got the most tokens, and I think she's the most physically fit, and she's very smart. So I think all things combined, I think she has the best chance. But it just could be some random thing where you're like playing pinball or something like that, like where it's Plinko. Let's do. You get fired, you can drop them down the thing and Plinko. Like it's.
I hope they don't make it some stupid random game.
Yeah, but there's always going to be a game that favors one contestant over another based on their physical makeup or their intelligence or whatever. So
this is why I think if you're going to do the Edge of Extinction, the challenge to get back in the game should just be one of the pure will challenges, like standing.
I like those.
Just like standing on a pole for however long it takes. Because for me, that if you get back in the game via that, you kind of deserve to be back in the game.
Or I was thinking, like, it would be nice if they did it in such a way where it was a series of challenges, and the first X number to make it through this first challenge, move on to the second challenge, where it's a different type of challenge, and then they keep whittling it down until the third challenge, maybe there's 3 people left, and whoever wins that, gets back in.
Yeah, Survivor's used that type of challenge scheme before, so it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I feel like, where have I seen that before? Like maybe Redemption Island, they did something like that, but they didn't have that many people in Redemption. But they've used that in just regular, in like reward
regular ones,
yeah, where you'll have 3 teams of 4, and then 2 teams will get eliminated. Or
in Redemption Island, they used to have the current survivors watch the ones on Extinction Island compete to get back in.
Yeah, there's a little arena kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah, that's
Ah.
right.
Yeah, I wonder if I didn't mind that. I wonder
I
if
personally really liked that, actually.
Well, they were all.
Style.
Everyone was present for the challenge last time on the first Edge of Extinction too.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were. As I
I don't
recall.
remember that at all. I
No.
barely remember that season. I
It's
remember
a forgettable
Yeah.
season.
For the
It's-
second one, or for both of them?
I think for both of them, I thought
Yeah.
everyone was
Yeah.
watching who got back in.
Yeah.
I believe that was the case.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
So let's get back into
Usually
a
the
couple of
case.
these people. Does anyone have anything more to say about Denise, or should we?
Yeah, I'm just super happy with that pick. I saw it from the get-go. I knew she would be under the radar, but I knew she was very smart and also athletic. For like a 50-year-old lady, she looks great. Like she's
So after
good
this
shape.
huge move last
Yeah.
episode, how do you think people will take her after that? Are they going to be like, shit, we got to, watch her? Or are people going to be like, yeah, let's hook up with Denise and, form something and move forward? Like, because people could be like, that's a huge move. We got to, like, let's boot her.
That's an interesting one because
Yeah.
wasn't it that the other 4 people on the team all voted for her, including Jeremy? And so
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's a good one. Like, is she dead man walking, or is she?
There's only 3 people who actually saw that move.
Mm-hmm.
One of them,
Yeah.
she just bought his loyalty for the rest of the game.
Jeremy.
I don't know if that buys you that much in this game. I
With
don't know.
Jeremy, I think Jeremy is a very loyal guy. Look, do you remember him saving Fishback? Come on, man.
But that
Better
her
loose if it's
playing
best
that
for
idol
Jeremy.
for Jeremy was useless anyways because Jeremy didn't get any votes. So
But she bought Jeremy with that idol play.
yeah,
It's worth giving up an idol just to make two. She now effectively has 2 votes at every tribal council because Jeremy will be with her the entire time.
I don't think it's got cut and dry. I think the move was flashier than it needed to be. I think she could have used Sandra's idol and kept her own. I think that was probably the better move going forward.
Then what happens at the next tribal council? She's down 3-1.
But then she still has her idol.
and
then you go to a tribe merge, right?
Yeah.
Burning that idol is not a good move. It really isn't. And unless Jeremy was your ride or die, which I don't necessarily get that impression because they're giving me no information whatsoever to go off of.
Yeah.
I think it's a move that just didn't need to be taken. I don't know what everyone else thinks on this.
I don't think she did it because she wanted to, have Jeremy like come with her or for her to be able to show Jeremy like I've got your back. I think she did it for the sole fact where she didn't know whether the votes were going to go on her or go on Jeremy. And to protect her move of taking Sandra out, she used both and protected them both just in case.
That's a really smart point. But I think that her better move was probably just to vote out Tony. And then you have Sandra with someone you can work with, and you still have Jeremy. I just think this was just too cute for the sake of being like putting your stamp on the game, and it's too early to put your stamp on the game.
If she does make it to jury, though, I think everyone's gonna be like, you nailed Sandra after she gave you her idol.
Yeah, it's something you can really use, but I just think you put your head out there way too early, right? You're.
But she was going home. So.
Well, she wasn't going home. She had an. There's no way she was going home that thing. I think she could have kept Sandra as an ally by just voting out Tony. Like, did you think that no one is gonna be mad at her for getting rid of Tony, right? That's not something that's gonna come back and bite him. They're gonna be like, oh, thanks for getting rid of Tony. Now we don't have to do it later.
Yeah, I guess had she put her vote on Tony, she would have had Jeremy and Sandra.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's what I think, right?
Yeah, but it would have cost her 1 more fire token. What a smart deal. 1 now, 1 later. Boom, she gets to keep 1 extra fire token.
Well, I just don't know how much the fire tokens are going to factor in, so that's why it's hard for me to say, right? Like, I just don't know the value of it's hard to quantify the value of a fire token right now.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how her game progresses after this move and which way it goes.
I still thumbs up on Denise. All right, who's next?
Next up is Sophie.
Oh, love.
There's your winner. I call it right now, Sophie.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Both you Sykes brothers picked her.
Yeah, yeah. Because she's not going to be an early target at all, right? It's just what.
Nope.
And the deeper she goes, the more dangerous she is.
She's smart as hell.
She's
good
no
at those.
slouch in the challenges.
You see that puzzle? You see
Yeah.
that challenge? She dominated that thing. She beat Ozzy, frickin' Ozzy, the #1 challenge idiot of all time.
Also, I think she's looking hotter this season.
She looks great. God. Wow.
That's just 49 points, man.
Definitely makes a difference.
49 points is pretty good, but she's benefited from, I think, because we decided that if someone gets someone finds an idol, but it's a half idol, and they have to give the other half to someone, whoever finds it gets the full 10 for finding, and the other person who they give it to gets half.
You gotta get something.
She's been
we're throwing points around willy-nilly. At the end of the world, we're giving points away. Who cares?
So she got full points, and I think also someone found one and gave her half, so she got points for that too, I believe.
Absolutely. Come on, she's killing it. She's a very, very, very smart woman. And I don't know. I think she's made alliances, whatever team she's gone. She's was cozying up to Yule. She made a smart alliance with Yule, and she's made a smart alliance with Sarah. I think she's got plenty of people to work with, and I still think nobody knows what she's doing. Nobody sees that she's got idols. Nobody knows that she's wheeling and dealing. Kim trusted her, even though she's like, "Oh, I'd vote Kim out in 5 seconds." Like, I think she's playing a great game. I love it.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing about her too. She doesn't have an itchy trigger finger at all.
Totally.
She'll only make moves when it's the right time. She doesn't think she needs to put her stamp on the game. She knows how to lay low. She's in a great spot.
Big time. Big time. Anybody else? What are your takes on Soph?
I mean, I don't mind her. I didn't pick her, but I don't dislike her. I think she's playing a good game. She's playing a quiet game, and she's on nobody's radar. So she's positioned well. I think, you know what, if a merge happens and Sophie and Sandra get back together and Ben is still around, those three.
Well, Sandra's gone.
Sandra, it might be hard to get back together with Sandra.
I meant Sarah.
Right.
Right.
Sarah and Sophie and Ben.
Yeah.
If a merge happens, those three, I think, could be pretty tight.
I think Yule's in on that action too.
And Yule as well.
Right.
That could be pretty formidable. Interesting. Okay.
Anyone out on Sophie? Anyone just can't, doesn't like her at all?
Don't see it? Anyone not see it? Okay. All right. So I think we're general positive reviews for Sophie's game so far. What else we got here?
How about Wendell?
It's the same.
I like his chances to go deep, but he's going to be roasted by Survivor fans because he's coming off real bad.
Yeah.
What do you call it? The douche edit?
The douche edit. Yeah.
That's the one right now where it's like, oh, buddy, like, holy cow, like.
Yeah,
but he's not doing that much that, like, you know, there's nothing he's saying or doing. He's just being very kind of stoic and keeping a lot to himself. But for some reason, the way he's edited, he's coming across real bad.
Yeah. Caitlin, you were really adamant that you didn't like Wendell this season.
Yeah, I really liked him his first season. He seemed genuinely nice, and I don't know, maybe he's like a mini celebrity now, and he seems arrogant, but it's hard to know because it could be just the way that he's casted, and also his ex-girlfriend's on the island, and she's just kind of...
It's awkward.
One of his ex-girlfriends.
Well, sure. But she's also painting him in a pretty poor light. He doesn't seem to say anything bad about her, so...
New season, who dis?
Yeah.
I think for me, Wendell, at the beginning of this season, I liked him. I didn't mind him, but there was a certain point, I don't know what episode it was, where I started to see him being more how he is right now, being a little bit of a jerk. And maybe it was because he got put onto the team with Michelle, and maybe that whole dynamic, he's like sort of changed his attitude. But I feel like there has been a change in his attitude from the start of the game to what he's doing now. Does anyone else notice that at all?
I felt he wasn't the first few episodes he was non-existent from what I remember, but
Yeah, he wasn't getting a lot of screen time at all.
yeah.
But
was
here's
just
what I'll say about Wendell's game, which is going to hurt him though. Because he's so closed off to people, right? Unless he changes that up for when the jury comes to, like should he make it to the final three? People are not having good interactions with him right now, right? Like Poverty say he's giving him nothing. Michelle doesn't like dealing with him. Like he's alienating people that he's talking to. It seems to be mostly women, but it's not going to behoove him when it comes if he makes the final three, right?
Well, it
True.
was Adam last episode was saying something, maybe trying to get Wendell out. He was trying to put a move to possibly do that.
Well, I think in the last episode,
Was it? I think it was the last episode. Maybe
Parv was gunning for Wendell, and she was talking to Nick about it. And Nick's like, "Oh, I want to play with Poverty because."
Sorry. It was not Adam.
Yeah,
I
Poverty when I was a young kid, I had a big crush on Poverty. I don't want to burn. I'm a big stupid mushmouth from Kentucky. I don't know. I got no
Tell us how you really
personality.
feel, Ryan.
I ain't interested. I'm not interested, and I'm not interested in anything. And
I'm telling you, Ryan, I thought it was going to work. I'm not going to lie. I thought Parv had him. I thought that was it. 3-1, boom. And then Wendell packing. I thought that was it.
I think if you're talking about Parv 10 years ago, she probably could have charmed her way into it.
Yeah.
She's just not the same. She doesn't have the same sort of mojo she used to have. And I think she's a mom now. She's got a kid, and she's focused on different things. And she's not out there just to make out with James or Ozzy or
Russell Hantz,
Yule, or whoever else. Russell Hantz, whoever else she made out with. Or batted her eyelashes at, and that was part of her game. She's a very smart player, and I don't say she's one of the best 5 of all time because she's just a flirt, but she used all she had to make it far in the game, and I don't think she maybe has some of those tools anymore. At least those aren't the tools she wants to use. And yeah, I don't know.
Wendell at the beginning of the season was a popular pick. Almost half of people in the pool picked Wendell on their team, and I'm curious. I'm curious whether or not people now would be like, yeah, I shouldn't have.
I think he'll do some challenges, and that's what I always base my picks on, is who I think is going to win the individual challenges. So many points come from there. So it's not really, do I like him or not? It's how well do I think they're going to perform.
But against that field, do you think Wendell performed well? I don't know. Was he particularly challenge dominant in his season? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure he was. Do you remember him building that fire? He was so calm. He had just nerves of steel, and I remember him being pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good under pressure.
Yeah, that's true. He was very calm. I don't know. When you talk about individual immunities now, how many more people do we have left to get through here? Because I think Wendell's probably a threat. And Paul talks about the field, but I don't know. Who are
five people after this.
Okay, rapid fire.
Yeah.
Yule.
I'm out on
Yule's done soon.
Yeah, Yule's done soon.
Has he spoken all season?
Sure.
I picked him. No, I'm joking. He's not memorable, even though he's one of my picks.
I really love Yule. I like the way he intellectually breaks it down. I don't know, the season he played, he was really protected by the super idol. And so this season, I just don't think he's able to get those close bonds with people, because he is very kind of, I wouldn't say standoffish, but he's almost a robot.
He's very robotic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's super smart guy. He's probably the smartest guy out there.
Yeah.
He's incredibly intelligent. He's very fit for a 45-year-old man. He's incredibly good shape. I think he's the last of the old schoolers, and I think that works against him. I think people know his game was very strong, and we haven't seen that come to light because there have been so many other targets that have gone, and he's of the old schoolers, the thing that the most unknown quantity, apart from maybe Danny, who was just not a great player at all.
Now that there's basically him, the only old schooler left, do you think that'll be a big thing for the new schoolers to get the last old school guy out?
No.
I don't think it matters. He can't do anything at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only reason would be if there's more old schoolers on the jury, make sure there's not an old schooler, at the final.
Sandra did give him her tokens. We hadn't seen them interact at all.
Yeah.
But he's just like the last guy out there that Sandra knows who he is.
Yeah.
The thing
It
is,
depends. It depends. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Yule's just kind of cool and calm. So when you see him out there, that's the thing that kind of goes for him. Cool, calm. When you talk to him, you know he's a smart guy and all that. He doesn't make hot-headed and irrational decisions. So I think if you want someone who's going to be a constant, he's not a bad pick for that. I mean, he hasn't had any big breakthrough moments, and I agree. His screen time is pretty limited. But when you see him on there, like, nobody ever walks around and be like, we got to get that guy out of here type thing. He doesn't get the Wendell edits or anything like that. He's just, I don't know. I'm still okay with my pick for him.
It's like
me
come
too.
to him and they're like, what do you think, Yule? Is this a good move? Should we do this?
It's like, okay.
Here's what's going to happen to Yule. Someone who's able to assess the power dynamics is going to realize that Yule has this trio with his two guys, and they're going to cut Yule loose. And I think it's going to be Tony if Tony falls on the right side of the numbers. Tony's good at sussing that stuff out.
Okay. All right. Speaking of Tony, let's go Tony now.
All right.
Didn't pick him, but love every minute that he's on the air.
Yeah.
And
How far can
entertaining to
Tony
watch.
go? So entertaining.
I love the Tony entertainment factor. I hope he doesn't win.
Why?
I hope he goes far just because I like seeing what happens around him.
I would be amazed. If Tony wins, I'd be thrilled. Tony's incredible. I would love it if he won again. There's no reason he should have won the first time.
Do you think
I didn't pick Tony. I don't fucking care if he wins. It'd be great. Pardon my language, but I think it'd be great.
Tony and Sarah will, if they make the merge, will they come together again?
Absolutely.
I think so.
The cops and
Yeah, but Sarah is the one who bails on that first.
Probably.
I think Sarah's the one who bails on that first.
So that's another one. And what's Tony and Ben's dynamic?
Do they have one? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't spend enough time at the camps, right? So we're guessing at everyone's relation to one another.
Well, they wouldn't have any relation because they were on different tribes and they're still on different tribes. So they've.
Well, then way to set me up to look like an idiot, Junior.
Oh. But I think, like I was saying before, I think Ben, Sophie, and Sarah, if they're at the merge, they're a pretty tight three, and throw possibly Yule in there and Tony. They could take over at the merge and start picking people off possibly.
Do you guys have an idea of who's tight with who, though, when the merge happens? Like, does anyone have an idea of how the numbers are going to break down in terms of, like, are they going to stick to their old tribes? No, of course not, right? Because no one's going to stick to a tribe of 8. So it's so up in the air and how it breaks down, and that will define the game, right?
Yeah,
I think that's so hard to predict at this point, though. It's just like because they all have pre-existing relationships, and now they've been on like multiple tribes and edge of extinction, and like old players, new players. Like it just. How it's going to shake out, I have no idea. Like you guys are talking about combos post merge, and I'm like, maybe. Like I feel like it could go so many different directions.
Yeah,
I think you can predict. I think you can predict pairs right now, and maybe even like threesomes right now that seem to be tight. But in terms of how those amalgamate together, that's tough.
So Ben is original Sele, and Sophie and Sarah are Dekal. So, but they're all together on Yara and getting close. So, if anything, if there's a merge that happens next episode, even the episode after, Dekal's going to have the numbers, and Ben is going to, most likely flip because he's not going to be on the numbers, and he's going to go with Sophie and Sarah and whoever they are tight with in the original Dekal group.
Yeah, just really tough to. We need are little figurines of all of them, or we need some area here where we can just have them and move them around and stuff because it's just there's so many moving parts.
I'm looking at the spreadsheet so I can.
Yeah.
We also need more screen time to actually figure any of this shit out.
So who here would vote? I can assume that. Because we're all here talking about Survivor for no reason on like a Sunday night,
It's
If
the
we would all
Self-isolation.
watch, if it was sure. Okay, fair enough. But if it was a 2-hour show, I mean, or even an hour and a half, I'm watching every week. I don't care. I would love it if it was 2 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to watch. I'd love to see how the tribe breaks down, because there's a lot of content here, and we're just getting like, it's just like the greatest hits without any substance. Like I don't like, you know, if you go back and watch old Survivors, you know who's aligned with who, right? You know how it's going to break down unless something really big happens. Right now, you just have no idea.
Yeah, all we get is the challenges.
Yeah.
People finding idols.
Yeah.
And then there's a little bit, you know, when whoever loses the challenge, they go back to camp and they scramble, and we see that.
Absolutely, right?
There's a lot of. You go.
I was going to say, I just hate to even compare it, but it's just like shows like The Bachelor and Bachelorette get 2 or 3 hours, and Survivor gets 1.
Yeah, I know. And there's so much more here to that you could sit there and watch. Like Ryan said, I'd be happy to watch a 3-hour Survivor every week, and I'd watch it all.
You know, I mentioned this to Ryan because Pip, who's in the pool, I'm using her Zoom to do this. She didn't join us tonight, but she watches Survivor Australia and absolutely loves it. And they do have more, either it's a longer episode or more episodes per week. It might be like 2 or 3 episodes a week of Survivor Australia, and she loves it.
I hear it's a great show.
I hear it's really good. Yeah. Hey, if we're inside for as much longer, what else?
I'll watch it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, why the hell not? What else is going on?
Sykes Survivor Australia pool.
Yeah. I don't think I'd get many takers on that. I think I worked this pool up to a pretty good.
Pip would be in.
Yeah, okay, I mean, I would. Okay.
So yeah, finish off on Tony. What do we think Tony's gonna make the end? Or?
He could be the next one gone.
Yeah.
He's gone in the next 3 or 4. Yeah. That's what I think. I don't think he's making it further than that. He's got nowhere else to hide now.
I just don't think anyone trusts Tony enough to have a final 4 with them. I think because if they even watch this season, they shouldn't trust him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It'll be a case, I guess, of like how long do we need to use him as a meat shield and then cut him loose,
or a number. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, who else do we have?
So Sarah,
my winner pick. I think she's going to win. I think she can win the game.
No.
Because you know what? Sarah is one of these people that, like, we don't get the idea of Sarah from watching it, apparently. But everyone who everyone who's ever played the game with Sarah, talked to Sarah, said you immediately like Sarah, and everything Sarah tells you, you believe.
Yeah, she's a smart woman.
Yep, that's a skill set for Survivor.
She's a detective. She's not like, and she does mixed martial arts and all this stuff. I thought she was my first boot pick because I thought everyone was going to see her as a big threat.
She's one of those people that can lie right to your face and you will believe every word of it, and you'll still want to ingratiate yourself to Sarah. And so I really think their chances are really good.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's a threat. That's a threat to my dominance.
Uses Tony as far as she thinks she needs him, and then orchestrate the move to get rid of him.
She will because Tony got her the first time, and she's not going to let it happen again, I don't think. I think she's smarter than Tony.
Yeah.
Tony's a much more fun player to watch.
No denying that.
Sarah?
What's that?
I don't mind watching Sarah.
Yeah, she's okay. She's no Tony. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's like comparing apples and some weird, terrible kind of apple.
Tony's above everybody, though. Like
exactly.
Far above everybody.
Okay, so pretty high on Sarah, everybody. Yeah, you guys.
I picked her. She wasn't a popular pick. She only got like 8 picks or so. But I've enjoyed her. I think she, like Paul says, I think she could have a chance to win, possibly.
I think she has a chance for sure at this point. Now that she's made it this far, I totally do. And she's in a great spot with multiple potential allies.
Multiple people.
Okay.
So
Sarah, possibility. Yeah, go ahead.
Up is Kim. Nothing to say about Kim.
No, I mean, you'd want to. Kim's thought to be one of the greatest 3 winners of all time. Usually, and she's usually in the conversation for best winner of all time because she played the most dominant season. I don't see it happening this year.
Yeah, I just think she's been on the outs. She doesn't really seem to integrate too well already, and I don't know how much time you have left to do that. I think that once these bonds are formed, it's hard. She's going to have to really kind of worm her way into an alliance where she seems to be on the periphery of alliances right now.
Now, would Kim be considered old school, you think, or is she new school?
No,
I wouldn't consider her that, but
she's probably the first wave of new schoolers with Sophie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in that genre, that area, that era.
Wave.
She's middle wave for sure. Yeah. She's a really, she played a fantastic game, but she called every shot in that game. Tell me one shot Kim has called in this entire game.
No,
she also played against the weakest field in Survivor history, except for maybe Redemption Island.
Except for Redemption Island.
Redemption Island, yeah.
It's debatable, but both terrible fields of completely forgettable people, except for Andrea Belke,
apparently
who's only on because she's nice.
Yeah, and on Kim's season, apparently they had 3 of the 5 lowest IQs ever recorded on that season. I'm not making this up to denigrate anyone.
True.
This was
How
actually,
do you know that?
Yeah.
I've heard that too.
Did you hear that too? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I can make some pretty good guesses as to who those people were.
I know all 3.
Do you? Can I say Alicia Rosa?
Yes, that's one.
Christina Cha?
I think. Come on. Maybe it was Kat or Christina. I'm not sure which one. Right.
Not Leif Manson?
Yeah, Leif Manson was one. Yeah.
Okay. Terrible. All right. Sorry, that's a little Redemption Island. All right,
I can't attest to the veracity of these things, nor will I endorse an IQ test as an accurate measure. But I'm just saying that's the rumors I've heard.
Okay. That's a terrible. I would never rewatch that season. Watching this season right now, there's so many seasons. I'm like, I got to go back and watch that. I would watch Cagayan again. I'd be interested in watching. Well, that's really the main one.
After they showed that season 40 episode the week before, it was sort of like a history of Survivor or whatever. I didn't realize, I just always thought there were idols and things. So now I want to go back and watch those first 5 or however many seasons and be like, what the fuck did they do?
Yeah.
There's no idols to find and nothing to do.
There was a lot more survival.
Guatemala, first idol.
But there's a lot more survival skills.
13,
They were
14?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
They focused on building houses. They focused on trying to get food.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
boring.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm just saying.
No, you can't watch that for 20 years, right?
I know, but he's asking what did they do, and that's what I'm saying. What they did.
That's what you and Paul were saying just a little while ago, that you want more of,
I never said that.
Paul was saying he wants more of the camp life. And
yes, I do.
I want camp life.
Yeah.
I don't want. I'm starving to death. I don't care about that.
I actually like the element of them having to deal with it is really. So the game has become it's a lot less hard than it used to be in terms of in terms of the rigors you have to go through. With
people aren't wasting away anymore.
Because Russell Swan almost died. They don't need that.
I get it, but did you see everyone at Tribal Council? They looked like they had hair and makeup people. Parvati and Michelle looked amazing. They had their eyebrows done.
Those girls are always island hot. They're always
no. They've looked rougher before as the seasons progress. I think it was because some of the they have brands now they have to protect, right? So they can't have them looking like Kelly Wentworth after 5 days on the island. They have everyone looks amazing.
The second time we've thrown shade at Kelly Wentworth.
Yeah, because she's terrible.
She's terrible. Yeah.
My day, the only square meal I got was when they ate bugs and grubs.
I don't know. It's a lot softer of a game, but I guess they have to do it for liability reasons.
They're still outwitting, right? You still got to outwit.
Yeah.
You still got to outlast. You still got to outplay.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there was never outstarve.
Okay. You watch that Tribal Council and tell me they don't have hair and makeup right before that Tribal Council, though, okay? You watch it again. I'm telling you. Pay attention to it.
If you go back, because when I put the site together, with the photos of everybody. I originally went back to each person's original season, grabbed that image to put it in before the new cast images were ready. And when the new cast images were ready, I was shocked at when I went and replaced them all, because the clothing is practically identical to what each one wore on the season.
People to inhabit an archetype, and they want you to wear the same clothes. That's why.
Yeah, the production makes you do that.
Ethan with his blue soccer shirt,
right?
You know, Nick with his lawyer jacket. Everything, all of them were almost identical to their season.
That's interesting.
Well, Cochran. Go ahead.
Survivor doesn't have a lot of faith in its audiences. It needs
no, they don't.
They don't. They're kind of contemptuous of their audience.
They really kind of are.
Yeah.
You know, and to be fair, that's probably smart.
Probably the right choice. Yeah.
Who's watching the show, right? Like, there's some smart people watching the show, but they're trying to appeal to like the
broader middle America.
People who are out scrounging up toilet paper right now.
Right. Yeah.
That's your main demographic, is like toilet paper hoarders.
You want to cast a wide net for sure.
Yeah.
So we kind of moved on from Kim real quick.
I just don't think she has a chance.
Yeah, I'm out on Kim.
Yep, sorry.
The last one we got is Nick.
Nope, just keep moving.
I'm high on him. You hate Nick.
Yeah.
I'm high on him going forward. I'm not high on him as a character. I think he's fine. But I think this guy's going deep.
Me too.
I just remember him using advantages really well, and I keep thinking that he'll be the one to figure out the fire tokens.
Yeah, that's a good point, Caitlin.
That's why I chose him. Frozen again, hey?
And I think it happened last season, and it seems to be happening this season too. I remember when Ryan, like before he asked me to choose my players, he made a derogatory comment towards Nick, and I almost wanted to take Nick as a spite pick, and I should have, because this guy is going deep.
You gonna make a spite store when I open up a?
I might. It's a coffee shop.
Yeah. Coffee shop. Yeah.
Nick is gonna go deep with, like, who's he gonna align with?
Well, if they cut.
Go ahead.
He's with Yule and
Wendell.
Wendell,
right? And
they got a tight 3-person alliance right now.
Yeah.
I feel like Wendell and Yule sort of soured on Nick a little bit. And
I didn't get that impression.
I didn't get that. No.
I got the impression that Nick wasn't as tight with them because he was kind of wanting to play with Parv, but.
Nick
wasn't. He just had like a.
He was in love with her.
Yeah.
And also, you say things for the camera too, because you want the audience at home to think that the tribal council is ambiguous. But even if they cut Yule, Nick will scramble. Nick will be all right. I think Nick is going deep.
I could see him going deep. That doesn't mean I'm excited about it.
Fair enough.
That's like that reminds me of the line from Indiana Jones when the guy's like, "You lost today, kid, but it doesn't mean you have to like it." And then he gives him the hat. And it goes like this. Then he comes up and boom, he gets punched in the face.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. Okay. Well. I'm sure he's going far, right?
Yeah.
He's kind of a milquetoast character.
I'm going to make a bold prediction because this is getting recorded and say he's in the final 3.
Ooh.
I hope so. I picked him.
How many people are left? 10?
That's it? Oh,
no. In the game.
We're done
12?
talking about them, but there's 12 left?
12, okay.
12 in the game, but 2 of them were, like, somebody's coming back. Okay, so let's... Can't be on here all night because we still have to make tacos. So let's do a couple things here. We'll make some predictions on who's coming back, and then we'll make. You guys can give me some bold winner predictions at this point, or some final 2, or whatever you want to do. Okay, go for it. Well, for start, who's getting back in?
So do I have to take 2 players because 2 people? But I don't. Okay, so I'll only pick who's coming back in for the next one.
Let's just pick up who's extra.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Tyson comes back because I want him to.
I'm gonna say Rob. I think he'll be strong and then do a puzzle.
Wow. Okay.
Team Scott says Natalie, so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'm going to say Natalie too, but I think she's going to get kicked out pretty quick afterwards.
Greg, what do you think?
I'm torn between Natalie and Rob.
Rob's not coming back. I hate to.
No way.
Rob's not coming back.
There's no way. Rob's done.
Rob's done.
Look at him walking around with Amber trying to find the. Oh, it's on the cliff.
Yeah.
Amber. Oh yeah, I think it's up here. Yeah. Doesn't know
Rob
what's
has
going on.
checked out of this season.
The game has left Rob behind.
Yeah.
Okay, so Natalie then. I'll pick Natalie.
Okay. I'm between Tyson and Natalie. I'm one. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
There's no way Ethan's not coming back. I know they gave Ethan his cool story about logs up or whatever. That's it. Not
Amber's not coming back either because they gave her an inordinate amount of screen time, like doing the narration for the last year. She's not coming back.
No, 0% chance.
Danny Boatwright, we haven't heard from since she got voted out.
Danny's not coming back.
No. I think this will be an interesting question to hear what you guys think. If Natalie came back into the game, how do you think she would do? Do you think basically, do you think whoever gets back in the game, do you think they have any chance?
They're going to give them probably a one episode free tribal council, not get immunity or whatever. So, yeah, it depends. So Chris Underwood won.
If it was Natalie that came back, even after that first safety week, do you think she would have any type of chance to get in with the people that are left to continue, or do you think boot her?
Yeah,
her and Jeremy are best friends. Like,
right? Yeah. I think if you look at it, Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, she has quite the story, like, coming back, like, first one kicked out, all these advantages, all these fire tokens. Like, I feel like she's building this massive resume. So even if she does get back in, like, I feel like she'll have a couple of people, but she cannot stick around.
And Jeremy are tight. Everybody will be like, we got to get rid of her right away again.
Yeah.
Can't have that.
Historically, if you look at the show, with the exception of Redemption Island, players that come back are not dead men walking. They've actually gone pretty deep a lot of times, right? And have factored into the game fairly prominently. So
Devons went far when Devons came back, right?
Sure, Devons went far, and also if you go even going back to Pearl Islands.
Yeah, right. Burton and Lil made it far.
But made it really far, right? So, and I think Ozzy in the other.
Ozzy got voted out 3 times in that.
3 times, yeah, but he still factored prominently in the game too, right?
Until Sophie beat him in that final challenge.
That's right, but so I think that anyone coming back has a legit chance of going deep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tyson on this. I'm gonna put my eggs into the Tyson basket because I'd rather see him. I'd be happy with Nat or Tyson. Anybody else is boring.
Yeah,
those two. Okay, and so do we have winner calls at this point? I've said Sophie. I think that's my winner.
Okay. Why don't we do everyone's quick final 3 then?
Ooh, okay. Okay.
I'll lead it off then because I've already said it. I think I'm going to go with Sophie, Sarah, and Nick as the final 3.
That's what I was going to say.
Whoa.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. I like your picks.
Yeah, ditto.
All right. Okay. Anybody else? You guys go.
I might go Sophie, Sarah, and Yule.
Okay. Okay.
I know. I called Jeremy, Denise, Yule because, damn it, I need the points. That's it.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, Denise is a good pick, yeah.
Yeah. Caitlin, what do you think?
I feel like I'm just picking names from the people I chose, too.
You can still say Boston Rob.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Actually, the 3 people I picked, I only have one of them. In my
Right.
I think will make the final.
Yeah. No. I just don't know.
Well, no, none of us know.
No, I know, but I'm saying I don't feel like I know the players other than the ones I picked very well because I didn't watch all the other seasons like you guys. So you guys are talking about Kim. I'm like, is she the tall one? Or
yeah. The problem is you need to not only watch the episode, but 8 hours of Survivor podcast immediately after each episode, and then you'll have them.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll say Sophie. I want to live in a world where both Sophie and Denise somehow make it to the final 3, but I don't know how that happens. I think they're on warring factions.
Right.
And I think Sophie has a better shot. So Sophie, Sarah, and who's their third wheel? Like, is Nick in with that group?
I have no idea.
I'll say Sophie, Sarah, and Ben.
Okay, that's actually yeah.
Did
That's not
anyone
bad.
say Jeremy? Because I was thinking he's gonna get. That was kind of mine.
You can take Jeremy. Yeah, that's a guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Jeremy, maybe Wendell for the goat, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
I like how you've gone in a different direction, because if Sophie and Sarah don't make it, we've all lost. So that's I'm glad someone took it in an entirely different direction.
Leanne, what did Brandon have to say about Boston Rob getting voted out?
He was so disappointed. Oh my gosh. I don't know why he's hooked on Boston Rob. I just don't get it.
You can see how Boston Rob is very charismatic, though. Like, he comes across on screen.
He's like Tony. He's good entertainment to see what he says. And
I mean, Brandon's picks are usually based on like, oh, hey, that guy said Lego in his interview. And so like, he doesn't really have the basis of Survivor knowledge. So it's all good.
He did win. He did win last season.
I know.
He's the current reigning Survivor king. So.
It's crazy. I don't know how he did it.
I had a question because I could swear that someone couldn't sit out back-to-back challenges.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. What's
They changed that rule.
Like,
that rule's
sat out every freaking challenge.
Did she participate in any?
I think she.
Why would she?
Maybe one or two, but
Only when there's even numbers, obviously, right?
yeah.
So it used to be back-to-backs because there was reward and there was immunity, but now because it's just they only have one challenge per show, then they have to. Then they're just like, well, sit out whoever you want.
I don't think they should do that because I like the aspect of like you're helping your team, you're winning the challenges, and you should get voted out if you're not helping him. And they're like, well, she can stick around because
I mean, what are you there for if you're not gonna freaking play Survivor?
Yeah.
The game isn't just the challenges, though. It's she's won up until this point. She's the only person who's won 2 times. Everyone here was a second guest Sandra won 2 times. Nobody else has won 2 times.
I'd say the challenges are the last refuge of a scoundrel. I think that if you need to win the challenges, you played the game wrong.
Sure. Like Ben. The only reason Ben wins that game is because he won all the challenges. He should have been voted out 4 times. And if there weren't all those challenges, and he got backdoored with that stupid fire thing. Oh, by the way, Ben, we're going to give you an extra opportunity that no one's ever had in the history of the show to be in this game because we like that you're a war veteran. Whatever.
If your social game is good enough, you don't need to win shit.
Exactly.
So the outwit, outlast, outplay, are they not equally split 3 ways? We don't need to outplay?
Well, you can't quantify any of those things, so you can't split anything that's an unquantifiable element in 3 specific ways. But like outplay, what does outplay mean? It doesn't mean out-challenge, right? Yeah. Outlast is you're lasting longer. Outwit is you're being smarter than somebody else. And outplay doesn't need play in a ring toss.
It's not American Gladiators.
It's not American Gladiators. That's an element of it. And there are people who've dominated in challenges and done well in the game. But there are people who have intelligently maneuvered their way strategically through their social connections to a victory than there have been at people who are just like, I'm good at challenges.
Well, it's actually almost a disadvantage now to be too good because that's what got Joey out in that one. And a lot of the stronger men start getting voted out after the merge, right? So.
Yep. Also, if Sandra plays, I don't care.
They've changed out the game so much that you could be the most physically imposing person of all time and you still won't win all the challenges.
Yeah, that's true too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Sandra is terrible at challenges.
The guys have big muscles. Like they can't last the endurance challenges.
Yeah. Right. Or even stuff that takes hand-eye coordination or
And muscles don't equal brains, so.
Right. I mean, certain people are good at just throwing shit, like Reynolds from.
Reynolds. Yeah,
Jeremy too.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Jeremy did win.
Ring toss.
Yeah. Oh, when he's get with that knife too. There with that knife on the burlap sack. Cut my arm off.
I'm gonna get a lot of points. I got 5 strong men who are gonna start winning me the immunity challenge, and that's
the immunity challenges don't work like that anymore. It's gonna be who stands on these tiny little platforms for long enough. Michelle's gonna go on an immunity run.
Who won the last immunity challenge for their team? Sophie. Sophie stands there. She's got these little things. In a maze. Like none of that stuff matters. They're solving puzzles and things.
Yeah, it used to matter a lot in the first 10 seasons, but it doesn't anymore.
If you look at all the most recent spreadsheets, all the young men have the most points.
Yeah, you did do a little bit of research.
I did all my research. Okay. It's just not paying off because none of them are getting stupid things on the whatever
tokens.
Yeah.
But if we do that, and it's just like you guys like purist games. Greg, let's get out this spreadsheet from 15 seasons ago, and we'll award 1 point if you survive an episode. and then 3 points if you win an immunity challenge. Like, it'd be the most boring spreadsheet. People would win those spreadsheets with like 18 points.
We're way better now. The show points are almost useless now.
Yeah.
The show points actually are almost meaningless.
They really.
Yeah, they're really meaningless. I think you might have gone too far in one direction. This is basically like Yahtzee. It's just fucking like.
Sure.
Yeah.
The pool is for fun.
I know, I'm joking. It's $10 pool, but
I'm just pissed. I have 5 people. I'm in 27th place. I haven't lost anyone.
The thing I liked, and I told Ryan this when I talked to him a bit ago, was that after episode 5, before this last spreadsheet came out, episode 5, the last place person to the first place person, the difference was only 44 points.
Yeah. I saw that too.
Like, even when you're out of it, 44 points is not insurmountable when you get to the 15-point categories, and especially if you get willed or use some fire tokens, you really have a chance. And that's what I like more about the pool now, is that yes, there's a lot of points flying around, but if I'm out of it first day, I don't care anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now everybody's like, who knows? The likelihood of it happening still probably not great, but there's hope.
Well,
Greg,
it depends.
Is this the first time you haven't been mathematically eliminated on day 2?
Probably in a long time, yeah.
I agree with what you said, though. It's so much more fun for everybody.
Me
right?
too.
Yeah,
I think I'm still gonna bitch just because I like to do that, but I think it just makes what you say makes total sense.
You're winning the pool. You're in first place. What do you want?
I'm still gonna bitch about the injustice of people like poor Caitlin, who has 5 people in the pool and is in last place. Right?
No business winning this pool ever.
Huh?
What business do you have winning the pool? You just started watching Survivor 1 season ago.
I looked at statistics of the sheets.
Okay, yeah. Moneyball.
He's an analytical person like you.
I hope it pays off. I think it's an interesting theory that you went back and you looked and saw that all these young men, and this is true. I did look back at the spreadsheets as well. And all the young athletic men got way more points. And if you had just picked 5 athletic men in the majority of those pools, you would have won those pools.
Yeah.
This is why we award points for Sia money now.
Does Sia is she still giving money away?
Oh yeah.
Like, is that a guarantee every season she does?
I mean, for the last 4 or 5 seasons she has.
Yeah.
That's how Donovan gets.
Right.
Or what's his name? Donathan?
Donathan. Yeah.
Donathan. Oh God.
Yeah, sorry, Caitlin, that sucks for you because you have all your players left and you're in 27.
That's why I logged in to bitch about this.
I can't believe there's that many people in this pool. I didn't think you knew 27 people. Watch Survivor.
I don't know half the people.
But you're gonna make a late run now because you still have all your people.
Yeah, but how can they get points?
It's all individual immunities, hopefully.
There's less people to spread out idols and fire tokens too.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're fine. All right, guys. Well, I know I have to wrap her up here because
sounds good.
I got some tacos that I gotta finish up here. So that was really great. Thanks for coming to this first little Survivor get together chat. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
So we should schedule and do a couple more before the end of the season.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
Hey, no one in the world has anything better to do, so it's Survivor podcasts all the time.
Yeah, if we pick a certain day and a certain time, and everybody knows something that works well for everybody.
I'm very tempted to do like a post episode kind of like let's just talk for half an hour about the episode.
Just so we're more current.
Yeah, because we're like 5 days out or whatever from it. Yeah. I don't know. We can sort of chit chat about it in the week. We can put up a Facebook poll or something like that. I mean, there's only so many people who are interested in doing this, but
yeah,
I don't know. I like talking about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel also now I've listened to a few podcasts, so I'm going to come in and all my takes are like other people's takes.
Yeah, it's hard to different. It's good to
Fresh
do it
takes,
before
right?
you've had a chance to listen to someone else's
Yeah.
opinion, because they do influence you for sure.
Well, I thought you were just going to go live in the Facebook group more often this year.
There's been a lot going on. It's been an interesting semester. And
year.
You know what is weird though? I find it's just like, am I just going to record myself with my phone talking for half an hour about my thoughts on Survivor? I don't know. I mean, I liked writing the emails and stuff, but I don't know. There's just too much
Well,
stuff
see,
going
depending on when you go live, people will get notified in the group and join and watch
Right.
you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Comment, right? So.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'll just be talking to myself. Like, is Paul going to see the Facebook Live thing that's going on in Facebook? I doubt it, right? You're not watching Facebook.
If he's never on Facebook, you won't see it.
Yeah, I'm never on Facebook. I won't see it.
So most people aren't really on Facebook these days. There's a few people on Facebook, but they're like middle-aged white ladies.
Well, you got to get in the group and
posting
make some
Fox
comments.
News stuff. What's that?
Paul's got to
group
get in
but
get in the group and make some comments.
Yeah,
there's a group that's going on that I don't know what's going on.
You're probably in it.
There's a Facebook. There's a Facebook group. There's at least 30 people in it. Most of us in the pool are in there, and some of us post periodically in the group saying something about the episode or something that's going on.
Yeah, if I ever log back into Facebook, I'll definitely get on that.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like this because the one thing that I did like was being able to see you, Ryan, at work all the time, and the other people in the pool from the office and having the quick huddle. So this is the best thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like talking to my wife about this, but
sure.
But it's different when you have a whole bunch of people that
into the show. Yeah,
enjoy.
I've quite enjoyed this. I think
that's great, Stephen.
I definitely prefer it to like just a one-way discussion. So.
Cool, man. Well, I'm glad I'm really thankful all you guys showed up, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, sounds good, guys. Take care. Good to see y'all.
Have a good night, everyone.
Till then, I got nothing else for you.